Hi everyone, it's Coach Ryan Knapp, and today I'm going to talk about progress, but not the way that you're used to it. I'm going to talk about why progress can actually be a bad thing. Why, when you start coming closer to your goals, you can start doing things that actually sabotage those goals, how you can notice that that's happening, and what you can do to change that. So, how can reaching your goal actually be a bad thing? Or how can the progress toward the goal actually derail you from reaching that goal? Well, I've done a lot of reading about willpower, about commitment, about goals, and about consistency lately. And what I've learned by doing that reading is things aren't always what they seem, and things tend to be actually counterintuitive to what we think can happen. And this specifically came up in the topic of progress, or how when you're working out and you're running and you're doing well, you start missing workouts randomly, or even start taking steps back that put you further back than where you were in the first place. So in the book The Willpower Instinct by Kelly McGonigal, she specifically talks about progress. There was a study done at the University of Chicago and the Yale School of Management by Alette Fishback and Ravi Dar. And what they did was they looked at people that were participating in a weight loss study, or people that were losing weight. They took those people, divided them into two groups, brought them in for a meeting. The first group were reminded, and they were basically patted on the back for their progress in losing weight. The second group were brought in, and they were not reminded about their progress, and they were not given positive feedback about that. When both groups left, when everyone in the groups were leaving, they were doing this individually, by the way, they said, before you go, we have a gift for you. You can either take an apple or you can take a chocolate bar. 85% of the people from the group that were reminded about how much progress they were making took the chocolate bar, whereas 58% of people in the group that were not reminded about their progress took the chocolate bar. So 27% more people took the chocolate bar in the group that basically just got the pat on the back saying that they would do a good job. So why would they exhibit a behavior that goes against what they were just told they were doing was what they were supposed to do? The reason is we have two competing personas, okay? If we're trying to reach our goal, one is looking long term and one is looking for immediate short term gratification. In this case, in this study, one is looking for long-term benefit of losing weight, and the other one is immediate gratification of easier things. I want sugar, I want coffee, I want candy, I want all of these things. And when you're reminded about how well you're doing, you tend to breathe that sigh of relief and go for the immediate gratification because it's easier. And because you've been reminded and you've been told you're doing such a good job with this immediate goal. Now what can happen is when you take that immediate gratification, you feel bad. And so you can actually start then repeating that pattern of taking immediate gratification, feeling bad, taking immediate gratification and feeling bad, and spiraling into worse shape or gaining more weight than you did before. And this is why people, when they work out and they work out and they work out and they focus on how well they're doing, will just start eating or will say, I'm going to take 2 days of rest because I've been doing so well. And then they feel bad about that. And chances are they don't start back up again. So how can you reframe this? The key is to frame it in the context of commitment, in the context of focusing on how well you are committed to this goal, and not in the progress that you've made to reaching that goal. I'm going to use a specific example that happened to me today. Got up in the morning and I went to the gym with Jess. And we go to the gym in the morning and we run. I hate running on the treadmill. I do not enjoy it. But I run on the treadmill because I like to run next to Jess and we get to work out together. Today I was going to do an hour on the treadmill. I forgot my headphones at home and the Woodway treadmills were taken. So we were on just a normal treadmill, which was already starting out to be a bad thing for me. I set myself, I was going to run for an hour. And when I got to 45 minutes, I said, I got to 45 minutes. I'm so happy. I did such a good job. And I almost hit the button to stop. I rewarded myself for doing such a good job. And I thought I did so good. And I had this progress of 75% to my goal that I almost just said, I'm that close, I'm going to stop. But what I did was I framed it in terms of commitment. I said to myself, I have these races coming up in the next couple of weeks. I'm on this treadmill I don't even like. I don't have my headphones in. It's early in the morning, but I'm committed to doing these. I'm committed to reaching this goal and to becoming the runner I want to be. And when I framed it in terms of commitment, I could just feel this weight lift off my shoulders. And I thought, well, if I've already committed to 75%, I'm just going to commit to the whole 100. And so I finished the workout strong and got to my hour and I was off the treadmill. If you frame what you're doing in terms of your commitment to the goal, then you're not focusing on progress. And instead you're looking inside yourself and saying, you know what? I got up this morning, it was freezing cold, it was hot, it was whatever adversity I overcame. I went, I did this workout, and I committed to it. And when you keep focusing on your commitment will keep driving you. If you focus on the fact that you've lost 10 pounds and now you're going to go out and you're going to have a huge, large pizza and drink a ton of beers, you're going to take a step back. And sure, you can go out and you can have those types of experiences, but always focus on the fact that you're committed to this goal. And when you do slip up, and when you have those times where you take a step back, you can still remind yourself of your commitment, and that's what's going to help you drive forward. If you miss out today and you're not committed today, don't let yourself take that extra step back and say, okay, I've done this for 20 days. It's okay if I miss 3. No, look inside and say, I'm committed to doing this. I've committed to make this change. I've committed to achieve whatever it is. In this case, running a marathon, running an ultra marathon, whatever your running goals are. And I'm going to stick to that commitment. And it's that commitment to the goal, not the progress to the goal, that's going to drive me.